Stephanie, I don't see any more questions, although I do see that Mary Barry has thanked everyone, I think, for the time and effort today. I don't know if you want to open it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do want to open up if anybody has comments that they would like to make. If you want to just unmute yourselves, and while you're thinking about that, I'll just note that, you know, we talked, I think Kathy's slides at the beginning talked about, we've narrowed down the vast and wide doodle poll that we sent out at one point, trying to look at people's calendars that are so booked up already. We've narrowed down to a couple of different dates for the next meetings, and we're going to follow up with people offline. And I hope we're able to accommodate everybody's calendars, but if we're not, we apologize in advance. And if we're picking a date you're not able to attend, we'll figure out a way to bring you into the conversation or catch you up. And so the next meetings, we're going to delve further into the status of the alternative approaches for establishing screening values, and we're going to, you know, obviously share additional information. We're going to, in between meetings, be following up with some individuals who've talked about different studies or data sources or knowledge that they have. Mark talked about sort of a technical subcommittee, and inviting some of you who have certain expertise to contribute. And so we'll be following up with that also separately. So the idea is that sort of subgroup might do some work in between meetings and then bring it back to the larger group. We certainly want, if we haven't said this already, let me be clear, you know, if there's information that's relevant that's not being discussed, we want to hear that, whether you tell us that right now or, you know, you email us afterwards. If you have, or perhaps getting into the next discussion, or so the next meetings, if you have particular thoughts on setting the PFAS screening levels, you know, sort of if you are way in the weeds with some of us, you know, the leaching versus percent over background approach and others, and I think that's some of the discussions we hope to tee up in the next meeting. So if you have thought about that kind of thing, we're certainly going to want to engage. And then we will show you, we have established an email address for this process where you can send it. You can certainly contact any of us individually, but you can use this massdep.residuals@mass.gov address for any information that you want to share. And I'm seeing a couple things going on in the chat here, so let me just take a look. Thank you for all the appreciation. Thank you for all the thank yous. That is really nice. You know, and it's, I do want to say too, you know, we talked about the new EPIC working group. We talked about the work that NEPA is doing and all the different studies and WEPIC study that members of this group are doing. So you're already deeply involved in these issues, many of you, and we really appreciate that when we're really relying on your information to inform us. Let's see. Will we be sending around the presentation or posting it? I do believe we are going to post this on the website. That's the plan. We're also going to make available a recording of this meeting, so that will show, you know, the video, show us speaking, and as well as showing us going through the presentation. So I see, I'm sorry, I'm reading straight vertically, so I see Kathy's already answered that question. And then Leldon's reminding us that Jennifer sent some handouts earlier and resent those links this morning, and so that information we'll continue to make that available and update it. And Mario, thank you very much for the appreciation that you're expressing. Is there anybody who hasn't had a chance to speak who has, you know, anything that they would like to express? Or if you have had a chance, but there's something you just haven't had a moment to say yet. Sherry, I see you in the box right next to me. So you haven't, I don't think, had a chance to speak. If there's anything you want to say, I want to make sure we're hearing from you.
I think I'm all set at this time. Looking forward to future meetings and continuing the discussion.
Okay. So we will be in touch about the next meeting, and we'll try to, you know, solidify that very quickly, because we know how people's time gets booked up, and we'll begin to develop that agenda, and then we're continuing our work in the interim. So that will shape what we want to discuss too. And certainly invite people, if you have any thoughts you have walking away from this discussion, whether it's tomorrow or next week, feel free to be in touch. And I guess I will stop. And to any of my colleagues, do you have any parting remarks? Anything the DP team wants to convey that we haven't had a chance to yet?
I just want to give my thanks to everybody for participating. I know it was a long meeting, but we've gotten some great feedback and information and new information sources to go look at. So really appreciate your participation.
Yeah, I would just echo that we are, this is a very difficult issue, and we are really, buoyed by the support and engagement of all of you. We know that we're going to make progress and come up with something that's reasonable and protective, thinking about all the different aspects and implications. So really want to thank you for your engagement today and for going forward. So I think with that, not seeing any chats lighting up or any people unmuting their boxes, you might get a whole 5 minutes back to your schedule. And perhaps that's a break before your next Zoom meeting. I hope not. I hope it's a time that you can go outside and enjoy what looks to be a nice day. I can see the sun streaming through my window here. You probably can too, which is what happens when you sit in the same place all day long. You watch the sun just follow you. But anyway, so thank you very much for your time. We will be in touch and invite you to stay in touch with us as well. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day and take care.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Thank you.